Peace and blessings, everyone. So, I have dubbed today Therapy Thursdays. So, each week, what I'll be doing is on Thursdays, just sharing a video, therapy, because we all got to vent about some shit. So, this week, I wanted to talk about something that kind of been weighing on me heavy, I guess. But also, I've been, talking to my homegirl about it, and she's in the same boat. So I was just sitting here, and I'm like, well, what the hell am I gonna talk about? And then it clicked. So what I want to talk about tonight is being single and how being single, just like adulting, sucks. It does have its benefits, but it also has its downfalls. And so, what I wanted to do was just share with you some of the benefits about being single. If I'm not as energetic, I'm tired. It's been a long week. I thought today was Friday. I gotta bring my ass to work tomorrow. So I'm feeling some type of way about that. But I just wanted to, make sure I take time out for you guys. And yeah, let's get started. So I just did a quick search and I came across this article from tinybuddha.com. I'll make sure to include the link in the description box below. Also, sidebar, I really got to get used to seeing this shit. Make sure you subscribe and set up your notifications so when I post new videos, y'all be the first to know. So what I'm going to talk about is the art of being happily single. So as I said before, there are a ton of benefits, but then it's also a ton of, I don't even want to say it's a ton. It's really just a few, but they feel like a ton. Just a few drawbacks to living the single life. We are living single. Ooh, in the 90s done world. I'm glad I got my girl. Keep your head up. What? Keep your head up. That's right. Okay. Anyway. I swear I'm slap happy. All right. So what I'm going to do is share this article, The Art of Being Happily Single. And so the first thing that I saw that I really, 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 really love is number one. Being single gives you time to be by yourself with yourself. So I just got a little quick read here. Finally, some me time. This is the time to reconnect with myself, a time where I can talk to myself, debating all the questions and answers that are bouncing in my head. This is the time of reflection. This is the time of acceptance and letting go. So let's dissect that for just a moment. I am a firm believer that everybody should in their life have the opportunity to live by themselves, to be completely single, so that way they can get to learn themselves. They can get to learn to love themselves, to like themselves. Because you can love somebody, but you can't stand them motherfuckers. You don't even like them, but you love them. And so I believe that one of the benefits is that as a single person, you get to learn who you are as a person. You get to learn to love and grow with yourself. Because it doesn't make sense to expect somebody else to love you, but then you don't even love yourself. Like, that shit don't make sense. So why not take that time? Now, I will say this, do not put a huge time strain on this because it takes a lifetime to get to know a person. So it's going to take a lot of time to get to know yourself. And I'm not saying be single for a lifetime and don't fulfill your relationship goals, because no, that's not fair. But what I would like for you to do is know who you are. Know yourself. Know your likes, your dislikes. When you're bitchy, when things get on your nerves, when you're happy, when you're sad. Just get to know, like, what type of foods do you like? Do you like cooking, or would you rather, get takeout every day? Do you have any quirks or weirdness about you? Because everybody's weird in their own special right. But get to know yourself. If you know that you don't like certain type of men, that's one of, you could just stay away from them. But anyway, I think that knowing yourself, being single gives you time to learn who you are as a person and live by yourself. Live by yourself. Please take the opportunity to have your own space. Because then you need to know, are you the type that clean up, or are you the type that doesn't? How trifling are you? We need to know these. You need to learn this stuff about yourself. Because when you get into a new relationship, you don't want to bring that baggage or bullshit or anything from the past. Don't open a new door if the old one isn't closed. I guess that's how I go. Whatever. Not really philosophical. Anyway, don't start a new relationship if you still got hangups about the old one. And I'm only saying this from experience. Like, it's been times that I've been in long-term relationships, but I'm bringing up old shit. I'm bringing up all the cheating, how that person made me feel, all the hangups that I had. I brought that into a new relationship, and of course, it wasn't successful. It was toxic, and so it wasn't fair to myself, nor was it fair to the person that I was in the relationship with. And I also think that you grow to appreciate the person that you are, which is going to help build your self-esteem. And you're not going to really feel like you need to rely on being with somebody in order to feel complete. You could be complete with other things, other healthy things, and you could still feel complete being, a single person. You don't want always being attached to somebody to take over your life, because then you start to lose focus about who you are. You start to lose focus on what your likes, what your passions, what your dreams or your goals or your, whatever. You don't want to lose sight of that. So that's why I'm just a firm believer of being single gives you time to learn yourself, because years ago, I did not love myself. I had so many hang-ups, and I took it out on not only myself, but that other person, and it just wasn't fair. And I noticed that I started attracting toxic people because I was toxic. So this is going into laws of attraction. You have to make sure that you are you don't want to attract the negative energy that you're putting out. So I noticed when I was in a negative state of mind, I was attracting those same people that I did not want. And I had to recognize that. I had to go through therapy. I had to learn myself. I had to grow and develop to figure out how can I improve myself so that way I'll be ready when the right time comes and that special person comes into my life. Because it gets old being, playing the field and all that other kind of stuff. I'm just to the point where I'm too old for this shit. So we're going to go with number 2. If you don't let go of the past, you will never appreciate the present. See, I was just talking about that shit. So it says here, yes, I have fond memories of my exes, but that was in the past. I know I always cherish those memories, but I need to stop clinging to them to live for today and plan for tomorrow. And, also it says, Buddha says, every day you are born again. That means new experiences and adventures for today. It's funny that I just saw that quote because For the longest time, I had that as my caption on my Instagram page, and I just recently, and I ain't gonna say recently, but like within the past 2 or 3 months, I changed it to my own personal quote. So it's just, universe, how it provides. Um, so again, I was just talking about this, how, and think about this as a building block. Being single gives you time to be by yourself with yourself, but then it also ties into making sure you work on yourself, to dealing with the past, so then you can appreciate the present and build a better tomorrow. Like, it sounds a little corny, whatever, but it's true. I noticed once I started learning how to forgive myself, because that's where it needed to start. I had to learn how to forgive myself when it came to a lot of stuff. Am I fully, forgiven of myself? No. But there are a ton of areas where I have learned to, okay, Liz, I forgive you. It wasn't, situational based. It wasn't completely your fault. Or it was my fault. I'm the one that fucked up, and as a result, I'm the one that's going to deal with the consequences. So I think by making sure that you're dealing with the past and forgiving yourself, and also forgiving other people. You're not necessarily doing it for them, but you're doing it for yourself. And I will tell you firsthand, it's hard to forgive everyone because some shit is just unforgivable. But there is still a way for you to lead a productive life and not have that hang up. Because I keep saying that it is one particular person from my past who, I said I will never forgive and forget, because it was something that was so detrimental, and it had a huge impact on me growing up. And so, but that's my hang up. That's something that I have to deal with. That's something that I go to therapy for. Those are the things that, I don't want to bring into a new relationship. So I do, while I may not have forgiven that person, I still do what I need to do to make sure that I at least learn how to cope with it. And that'll be another episode for another day. But, so yeah, just don't let the past affect your present and your future. Because who wants to go into a relationship knowing that you got baggage? Like, ew. so, so number 3, it says it's only after you have lost everything that you are free to find out what you are missing. So it says here, during those 10 years, I lost love, a pregnancy, and my health. I truly believe I have lost everything. I can't even start telling you how many tears I've shed during those difficult times. Now that I am single, I have an opportunity to do all the things I put off while I was putting all my energy into my relationships. I have to believe that I will eventually have the things I have lost, but for now, I'm taking this time to enjoy myself and complete myself. That is a mouthful. I'm going to just like briefly dissect this for a moment. She said, it's only after you have lost everything that you are free to find out what you are missing. So, the author describes how she lost love, pregnancy, and her health, and thought that she lost everything. And losing something, whenever you lose something, whether it's materialistic or if it's a person or, a relationship or just something that you hold near and dear to your heart, especially when it happens like back to back to back to back to back, you're like, oh shit, this is overwhelming. Like, I have completely lost everything in my life. And I've been there. And I'm pretty sure you've been there too. It has been times where I'm like, oh my gosh, I done lost everything in every aspect of my life, financially, relationship wise, career wise, um, just health wise, everything just like came crashing down. And I'm like, oh my God, really? I started off being up here, now I'm back down here. It's like the reverse of started from the bottom, now I'm here. So, it was very difficult. But I will say this, being single and dealing with those things is completely different than, being on a rebound with somebody, being in a relationship and not putting that focus on myself. So you have to put that focus on yourself. You have to. I know that a lot of us are, it's like we're selfless, but selfish at the same time. We're selfless because we put other people before us, but at the same time, we're selfish because we're not using that same energy of selflessness towards our own self. Like, how do you expect to, project good or be a good person if you're trying to be good to everybody else, but you're not good to yourself? That doesn't make no sense. That's insane. So, and that's something that I dealt with. I'm pretty sure you either dealing with it now or you have dealt with it before. And so I think that when you are quote unquote lost everything, you can just have lost your damn mind. That's everything. That you learn how to take a step back and find a different approach. Find the beauty in life. So again, that's another benefit. So what I'm gonna do is go to number 4. Change can sometimes be good. So it says here, part of me feels afraid of this quick change. Adaptation takes time, yet I'm already thinking of all the possibilities, meeting new people, going to new places, tackling new projects. Oh, I meant to say adaptation takes time. Going to new places and tackling new projects. Sometimes change is the best thing for us as it opens us up to new activities and environments. I agree. However, I'm a Taurus. As a Taurus, we're more grounded. We are earth sign. We are fixed, meaning we don't like change. I noticed when things change, like for instance, me moving. I had to move from my old apartment to my current one. And it was in the middle of winter, and I hated the fact that I had to uproot and go to a different location. That means that, and I was at my previous place for 5 years, so it smells like me. I have everything in this little spot. I'm used to, being in this particular space. And so when I had to move and then go to a new, oh my gosh, for like the first month, I barely got any sleep because I just could not adapt to the change. And one thing I keep in the back of my mind when it comes to changes, since I am so stubborn when it comes to it, is that if we don't change, if we don't evolve and learn to adapt to our surroundings, we die off. And so I know me personally, I'm gonna fight, as stubborn, or as much as I hate, or I don't want to say hate, as much as I dislike change, I have a logical understanding that change is good. Whether you may perceive it as good or bad change, there's always, I always believe in balance, that if it's good on one side, it's going to be bad on the other. And then you just come to a common ground to, try to get through the situation. So although I did move from one location, one living situation to another, I ended up appreciating it because now, like, it seems like my space is bigger, it's quieter, it's in a better neighborhood. Um, yeah, I enjoy when I come home as my sanctuary, but it took some time for me to go through, or be more logical about the change, and to open myself up to my new environment, to my new surroundings. Like, my neighborhood is great. Like, I can walk down the street and go to happy hour, or go to the local market, or even go to the CBD oil store, which I like going to. And I could do that. I can just walk outside and walk down the street, and bam, I'm there, and I'm near a pretty big park where there's always some events happening. So, I had to weigh out the pros and cons, and that helped me to transition to the change. So if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. But I think it's easier to do that when you are single, because you could have more of an unbiased outlook about everything, instead of having somebody who is throwing their opinion in left and right. You can hone in on what your opinions are, or maybe I'm not saying this right, but you can hone in on being more open-minded, instead of having somebody else talking your ear, to bring some type of influence, so that way you can appreciate the change in the situation that you're in. So, number 5, being single does not have to mean being afraid to love. So it says here, my heart has been bashed, bruised, and broken, but I don't feel traumatized, and I know I will love again. Hopefully, the next someone will treasure and treat my heart with love and respect. Staying open to love isn't just about attracting a new relationship. It's about being open to life. I agree with that. So far I'm agreeing with a lot of the things, because this is something that I've learned over time. But you don't, because of some things that has happened in your past, does not mean you have to be afraid to love the next person, including yourself. So I have been in previous relationships where I have been physically abused, mentally abused, emotionally abused, and any and everything in between. And I'm now at the point where I don't let those situations get the best of me, let alone being more open-minded about love. And I mean, I talk a lot of shit, and at times I do have this bitter complex about myself, because of the distrust that I have dealt with in the past. But still, and I keep saying this, like, the logical part of me, because it's always, you have your feelings, your heart, but then you have your logical side, and I have to make sure to pay attention to my logical side, to let myself know, like, okay, this next person may not be like the rest of the people that you, or those people that have wronged you in the past, or you have had toxic relationships with. Because again, this all ties into everything else I have went over so far. It's not fair to you, nor is it fair to the other person that I have this hang up about love in relationships. Because it's not fair, and it's not going to work. So I do believe that when you receive what you put out. If I'm putting out bad juju or bad intentions, like, oh, I'm never gonna find love, oh, all men ain't shit, oh, this and that and what, then that's the type of energy that you're gonna put out, and then that's what you're gonna start receiving. So it has to be something within you where you open up your heart, open up your mind, and set that expectation of yourself, for yourself, that not all men are bad, and not all relationships are toxic. that there are good people, just like, you a good person, I'm a good person. It's got to be other good people around her, or this whole damn planet would have went to hell in a handbasket already. So, so remember, just laws of attraction, and just setting yourself to reverse that negative mindset and start being more logical and being more realistic. Because you can't say all men, because then you might as well say all women are bad, or all people are bad. And that's not the case. It's great people out here. Just have to be open minded and be more in tune with yourself and start picking up some red flags. Don't get digmatized or don't get pussy whipped. Start being more logical about what you are. If you start seeing red flags, you're going to have to cut it short. I've been there, done that. I didn't cut it short, and then it ended up screwing me over at the end. So, and I'm sure we've all been there. That's just part of life. So, yeah, don't give up. So, it says here for number 6, even if you're single, you still have so much to appreciate. Being single is not the end of the world, a friend said to me. She continued by saying there are other problems that are more depressing than being single. Hunger and homelessness, for instance. This felt like a slap in my face to wake me up. It reminded me that even with a broken heart, I am still standing, I am still breathing. There are still so many possibilities for me. So I agree. Being single, especially once you start getting in your mid 30s, 40s, 50s, and so forth, and you start to question yourself. And I think part of it is because we have like these, societal and environmental pressures that we put on ourselves, that we have to be married by a certain time. We have to have kids by a certain time, because as a woman, your eggs shrivel up after the age of 40, which of course science has proven that that's not entirely true. It's women out here that are 50 and above that are having children and still able to lead productive lives. So just because someone is 30 or 35 and they're single and don't have any kids, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them. I think that's the misconception that we bring upon ourselves, is that if you don't have certain things relationship wise, then something is wrong with you. Well, have you ever thought about maybe the reason why that person is single is by choice? Maybe they want to figure out their shit before they get into a relationship, or just because somebody is single doesn't mean that they're unhappy. And I think that's the common misconception. That, do we have moments? Yes. But who doesn't? We're human. Whatever. But does that mean that as a single person, we're just going to accept any and everybody that comes our way? No, that's not always the case. So, I think if we, and create, in that stigma of, if you are older and single, that means it's something automatically wrong with you, and it's not. So I think that appreciating, things in life is something that can help you enjoy your singlehood. So I am going to do one more. Okay. Here's one. You're not alone when you're single. You still have family and good friends. I agree. I can remember a time where I noticed if I'm in a relationship, I don't really have friendships because I'm so focused on that. And that's not completely healthy. Like, I feel like you have to have a balance of being with your mate, but then also still having your own life. Because after a while, especially like once you start cohabitating, living with each other, and you're in a long-term relationship, you start to adopt their their ways, their likes, their dislikes. And you, even though you still come together, you start to lose. I think that some people start to lose who they are as a person. And I think that by developing those relationships with your family and creating relationships with your friends is just as important as being in a relationship with your mate or your significant other. Because I believe in balance. I believe that you could still come together and have your partnership, but then you could still go apart. He can be with his friends, you could be with your friends and your family. And then y'all still come together. So that way you have something to talk about. Because I've seen it in the past and I've been there in the past where you just are so consumed with one another that you start to neglect the people that are around you who are also important. And so yeah, this is, I was trying to keep it short, but it's like a 30-minute video. But again, I just wanted to share that it's okay to be single. It's okay to, feel some type of way about it, because I know I do, especially, with summer is about to be over, it's about to be fall. This is cuffing season, and I ain't saying I want to be cuffed, but I don't know. I'm just ready for my best friend. So, you know, getting older, and I notice as I'm getting older, I'm starting to appreciate more things in life. And one of the things that I have grown out of is just the whole playing the field. So, with that being said, again, don't forget to like and subscribe, share with your friends, whoever, all those people. And I will include all my information in the description box below. So, with that being said, I wish you nothing but the best. Have a good night. Be safe. Peace.